Hey all, I've got a body weight circuit for you today. You don't need anything except a band if you have it, like this one, just like a little mini one. This says extra heavy. You don't need to do that much resistance. It's just for the warm up, but if you don't have it, no worries. And we'll be doing 3 different sets of 3 different exercises, 30 seconds on, 10 seconds off. So in total, the whole thing will be about 30 minutes with our warm up and a little bit of a stretch at the end included. Enjoy. Okay, we are just going to hop right into our quick dynamic warm up here, starting with some cat-cows. So pushing your shoulder blades apart, dropping your belly. You can go as slow or as quickly as you want with these. The goal is really just to get your spine moving, get the joints woken up. You can do some side to side twists like I'm doing here. I've heard them referred to as disco kitties before, and I'm kind of into that, so I might stick with that. Add some neck circles if that feels good too. And from there, we're just going into some knee drops. So you can start just by kneeling on the back of your feet, and then you're opening one knee out to the side. Really focusing on keeping your core upright. So you're staying tall in your torso and really working through your ankles and your knees. Try and keep your heel planted. So if you have tight calves or tight ankles, you'll probably feel this. Don't push the range of motion too much, but just stretch into it, breathe into it, listen to your body, all that good stuff. And from there, we're going into a low lunge with our right foot forward and adding a reach. So a little bit of a thoracic twist here. We'll do about 3 per side. And you're trying to follow your hand with your eyes as you reach back, getting that really big chest opening. Then coming back to a downward dog, take that same side up and get some nice big hip circles in there. These don't have to look pretty. They just have to be functional. We're just trying to warm up the hips right now. And then we'll start from the top on that same side. 3 reaches back. Back to your downward dog. Add those hip circles. And switching to the other side, one side might feel tighter. That's totally normal. Getting in those hip circles on the left leg now. And back to your low lunge. Really try and reach your arm forward a little bit here too. You can see that when I bring my arm forward, I reach past my mat, and that way you'll just get a greater stretch in your shoulder, more of a warm up. Bring it back to that downward dog, 3 circles here in either direction. Okay, and if you have a band, grab it now. If you don't, that's totally fine. If you do, it's just going right above your knees and going into some hip thrusts from the floor just to warm up our posterior chain and our glutes. If you do have a band, you're keeping tension, but you're not pressing your knees like out past your toes. So not too wide, but just imagine that you have magnets on the outsides of your knees and they're pulling towards the walls. Squeeze your glutes at the top. Keep that squeeze as you lower. Few more here. And take the band off if you have it. Okay, going into some banded walks here now. So with your band, again, if you have it, it's going around the top of your feet like shoelaces. And we're just doing some side to side action here. About 5 to 10 steps each direction. Trying to keep good tension on the band the whole time. You should feel the outsides of your hips working. Clearly I do. I think that's what that face is for. And now we're going to go forwards and backwards. So this is our monster walk where you're walking at a diagonal forward, bringing your feet together, and then reversing that motion backwards. Okay, nice job. We are ready to get into the workout. Okay, guys, we're getting into round 1 of the workout. So we've got 3 different exercises. This first exercise, just follow along as I go, is kind of just a primal flow here. So I'm going with a side-to-side kick through and a reach back. So basically, you are kicking your leg through and then adding that little bit of a back bend as your heels drive into the ground, if that feels good. If that feels like too much, just stick with the side-to-side kick through or just the back bend. Okay. Exercise number 2, we've got some banded in and out squat jumps. So band is going just over your feet like we did in the warm-up, like shoelaces. And I want you to focus on pushing your butt back as you sit into your squat. Think about spreading the ground apart with your feet as you squat down. Just 30 seconds here. Keep it going. It only gets better. All right. Quick 10-second break to transition into the third exercise, which is a dip. So grab your chair, your coffee table, whatever surface you want to do these from. You can even do them from the ground and just place your hands on the floor behind you. But no matter where you are, think about keeping your shoulders rolled down away from your ears and your shoulder blades pinch back. If you want a regressed version like I'm showing here, just bend your knees and shorten your lever a little bit. So that would be your legs in this case. All right, done with those already. On to round 2. So we're starting back at the top with our animal flow, the kick through. Try to keep your pace consistent wherever you are. You're doing great. Keep it going. Nice work. Done with those. Grab your band or not, or just get ready to go into your in and out squat jumps. Always keeping your core engaged. So core is engaged, your knees track over your second toe as you squat down. Nice job. You're almost there. I know it's burning. Definitely was for me. Okay, made it through. On to number 3, your dip from whatever surface. And another cue as we go through these is thinking about keeping your elbows as close in together as possible, if that makes sense. So if you had magnets on the insides of your elbows this time, think about them wanting to touch, wanting to kiss. They never will, but that will protect your shoulders. Nice work. Shake that off. 10 seconds of rest here, and we are going into our third round. And then you'll take a minute or 2 break after this. You'll pause the video on your own. So it looks like I'm just showing some side to side variations here. This is another option that is equally challenging. A lot of core stability and core work going on with this. And grab your bands, get ready for that third round of squat jumps. Dropping in and out. So use that time at the top where your legs are straightened momentarily as you're working rest. I know that it doesn't feel like it, but it is an opportunity to shake off the burn from going low into your squat. So close, a few more. And rest. Okay, third round. Third exercise, tricep dips. As you come up to the top of your tricep dip, so when your arms are straight, like right here, I want you to visualize the backs of your arms and your triceps actively squeezing. So really hold that position for 1 or 2 seconds. We're not just mindlessly going through this. Getting to the end here. All right, pause the video and take your rest. All right, we have transitioned inside because it started pouring out. That's spring the Northwest. So first exercise here is our forearm plank tap. So you're staying low in your plank, tapping an object in front of you, or it can just be the ground. But the goal here is to keep your hips as still as possible and hips drop down. Okay, shake that off. 10 seconds of rest here again, so same format. Next up, we've got a curtsy lunge to a hop. So dropping down into that curtsy lunge, both of your hips are facing the camera. Don't let them open up too much to the side. And then driving through your left heel. Switching sides here. You can also do this version with the knee drive and no hop if you want a lower impact option. Okay, moving on, we've got some side tuck-ups here. So your left arm is out long, right hand is gently holding on behind your head. And I'm on the meaty part of my butt, so that sounded weird. I'm on the fleshy part of my glutes, and we're switching sides now. But the goal is to crunch up and feel that top oblique working. So it's really lifting you up. Try and keep your knees and ankles as close together as possible. All right, shake that off. We're doing the same thing, round 2. Again here, keeping your hips low. Trying not to sway too much side to side. My hips are actually moving a little bit more than I would like to see, and I think that's because I'm about to slide off my mat onto the rug. But whatever, no excuses, just something to take note of. Going into that reverse curtsy lunge with a hop. So really make the most of this 15 seconds on each side. It's not a long time. You can push the pace pretty hard with this as long as there's no pain. But think about driving through your front planted heel, switch sides, and you're not letting that knee waver too much. All right, nice job going into that oblique crunch. Starting on the left side first. Remember, knees and ankles, try and stick together. That will make it more difficult. Keep your left fingers, I guess your right fingers in this case because we're switching, but keep them soft. Try not to like white knuckle them into the ground. You're just using it for balance and stability. It's not, your hand is not what's lifting you up in this movement. Okay, round 3 of this already, almost there. Got those taps. Think about driving your elbows into the ground here. So you're creating space between your shoulder blades and almost puffing up your mid back like you're in a cat position. Squeeze your butt too. And come on down. Get ready for the curtsy lunge hops. Oh, or not. We're going straight into our obliques. So I will let you go back and do another round of the curtsy lunges. Looks like my coffee hadn't quite kicked in, so I'm just powering through round 3. Nice work, almost there. So go back and then take your rest. Okay, guys, we're getting into the 3rd round here, final round before our stretch. So our first exercise is a burpee to a tuck jump, excuse me. Definitely a crowd pleaser. Remember, it's only 30 seconds of these, and you can do any variation of burpee that you want. So it can be a step back, a hop back, whatever feels sustainable for 30 seconds. And then attempt a tuck jump at least at the top. Okay. Second exercise here, we've got alternating V-ups. So although your arms are moving with you, they're not driving you up too strongly. Don't swing them up. You still want to be using your core to lift your upper body. Okay, done with those. And grabbing your chair or your coffee table again, we're doing some single leg elevated glute bridges. So starting on one leg first, and you're driving that heel into whatever surface you have. That other leg can be long or it can be bent. It doesn't matter too much. Switch sides. And notice that I'm not dropping my butt all the way to the ground. So you're keeping tension in that working leg. Okay, move your chair out of the way, whatever you're using. And getting back into our burpees. With the tuck jump, remember when you land with soft knees. So like you're landing like a cat, trying to make as little noise as possible. Keep it going. Make it a squat jump if you need to, as demonstrated. Okay, and moving into our V-ups. Opposite hand, opposite leg. Knee can be bent or straight here. Straight legs will be slightly harder. Nice work. A few more seconds. Okay. Second round of glute bridges. And with these, if you notice that you feel your hamstring working more than your glute muscle, so if you can feel this more in the back of your leg, just scoot your heel in a little bit closer to your butt. Or scoot yourself closer to your chair or your table. Okay, looks like I was struggling a little bit coming out of that one. We've got our third round. Mentally prepping for that. Nice job. Looks like I'm sticking with the squat jump variation for this last round here. All right, shake that off. I'm not sure what that look I just gave the camera was, but I think I'm pretty stoked to be done with those. Okay, one more set of alternating V-ups. You should definitely be feeling your abs at this point. Good work. You're doing so well. One more set of glute bridges, and then we will stretch it out and you're free to go. Also notice that I'm keeping my arms and my elbows lifted off the ground. This is an added challenge because you're not stabilizing your core with your arms. Totally optional. Your palms can be down on the ground beside you like that, but just keep it in your back pocket as a note. Great job. Okay, let's stretch it out after this. Okay, getting into our cool down here. Stay with me. This is just a few minutes and it'll really benefit you in the long run if you stretch after you work out. So we're starting in this low lunge pulse here. Right foot forward. If you can and if you want to, grab your back foot for an added quad stretch. Keep your left glute squeezed so you'll feel it more on the front of that hip. And then we're switching over into a low lunge here, alternating from side to side. You can flip your toes up like I'm doing, or you can keep your foot planted on the ground. Okay, switching over to the other side. Left leg forward this time. Squeeze your right glute here. Remember, if you want, you can add that quad stretch, grabbing your back foot with your hand or strap. Nice work. Come out of that. And we're going into a thread the needle shoulder stretch here. So if you want, you can walk your top arm out over your head for even more of a rotational stretch. But just take some big deep breaths here. And come out of that, and we'll switch sides. Reaching long, big deep belly breath. And come back out of that. And we'll just go into some neck circles here. Just nice and easy, closing our session out. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed.